If there's one thing I've learned about infidelity, is that it really levels the playing field. I have sat in recovery groups and EMS weekends, if you will, with people who are worth millions and millions of dollars to people who have had to sell their automobile to simply come to an EMS weekend. Trauma, devastation, infidelity or addiction, it levels the playing field and it absolutely hits the reset button of our life. I have seen people who were incredibly faith-filled people. I mean, they loved God, subscribed to a deep faith in God. I mean, they knew the Bible. They absolutely were pillars in their faith community. And then infidelity happens or addiction happens, and some people, their faith is gone. They completely swing to the other side of the pendulum, and now they are angry, broken, bitter people. I've seen people who have been incredibly agnostic or resistant to faith or God or any of that, and then all of a sudden, infidelity happens, addiction, you name it, the trauma comes in like a freight train, and they swing to a faith-filled perspective remarkably, and it causes them to see things entirely differently. And then there's everything in between, okay? There just really is. But I want to tell you today that for those of you that are watching this video blog, for those of you that are experiencing this kind of trauma, this is the reset button. Because this is going to reveal what you believe. This is going to reveal what's important to you. This is going to recalibrate you. It's going to reset your life. Hopefully, your 6 or 7 figure income does not remain the most important thing of your life. Hopefully, the material possessions or the material issues in your life are now in the back seat, and it's a far, far away back seat. See, that's the thing about trauma. That's the thing about our alleged best friend / spouse betraying us, or us, the best friend / spouse, betraying the one that we're supposed to be faithful to. It completely starts to re-identify what should be most important in your life. For many of you, it reveals a sense of codependency upon your spouse. It reveals the fact that so much of your identity is anchored in them. And now that that has kind of been taken away, either temporarily or for the long haul, there's a huge gap, there's a huge void. And it really reveals the fact that we are codependent upon our spouse's approval or our spouse's love, and that we have a hard time functioning without that. Please keep in mind, I am not, cutting you. I am just simply identifying what it was like for Samantha and I, and for so many people that I talk to, is you can completely feel that you are willing to go against your principles and go against your ideals and go against what you know to be right simply to try and keep your spouse home. You see, crisis starts to really help you identify what is most important to you. I've told you 1,000 times that our checklist for Samantha and I typically is, how are we doing? How are the kids? There's everything else. That's pretty much the order for us. It didn't used to be that way, and it was my fault. But I want you to embrace the recalibration that's going on in your life. I want you to really embrace that this is, for those of you who subscribe to faith, this is God resetting your value system. For those of you that are atheists or agnostic, this is your opportunity to allow your life to be recalibrated on a level that you are proud of and thankful for and can live out the rest of your life. You see, this is going to really reveal what you believe. This is going to reveal who you are. This is going to reveal what's been kind of stuffed down since you were a child. This is going to reveal the issues that have been percolating in your life for a long time, and now they're coming to the surface, and you have a choice in how you're going to respond to them. You see, that image that you have embraced and held on to for so long is gone. The materialistic possessions that you took so much confidence in and pride and joy in are probably not providing the same payout that they used to. This is the opportunity to find a new level of gratitude, a new level of thankfulness, a new level of appreciation for how things could be far worse. And your immediate thought might be, Samuel, how could it get any worse? I promise you, it can always get worse. In summation today, let me just tell you, I have had times where I have been incredibly wealthy, and I have had times which you've heard about when I've been on the phone with the food bank and wondering how we're going to make it. And I have a pillar of gratitude in my life. And I'll end with a story. Not too long ago, I was at a restaurant with a gentleman that was going through a divorce. Yes, infidelity was involved on both sides. It was probably one of the most expensive restaurants in Austin, where we live. And it was this surreal moment, sitting in this restaurant surrounded by some very wealthy people. And the gentleman that I was sitting with is incredibly wealthy. And we were comparing our struggles, right? I was talking about how finances were tight and things were difficult, but we were making it. And he was talking about how the divorce attorney was thousands and thousands of dollars, and his life was in shambles, and that he was having trouble even working one day a week. And he looked at me, and I'll never forget, he said to me, you know what, Samuel, if we were to trade places, you would never have to worry about money ever again the rest of your life, and I would have a family to go home to. And I sat there in this moment, like few moments of this nature, and I was stunned. I really was. No one had ever said that to me. And you can understand the wealth that this man had financially, but how he would be willing to trade it all and start completely over just to have a family to go back home to. Infidelity hits the reset button to all of our lives. You can embrace it or you can resist it, but the choice is yours.